Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera guys. Selamat datang kembali di CM Fakta. Hari ini kita nak bincang satu perkara yang sering jadi perhatian ramai. Kenapa kemahiran bahasa Inggeris rakyat Malaysia sering dipuji dan dikagumi di banyak negara? Ini bukan soal nak bandingkan siapa lebih hebat, tetapi tentang apa yang boleh kita pelajari daripada cara mereka membina keyakinan dalam berkomunikasi.
My opponent, Abang Haris Sofian. Selamat datang ke Malaysia. And if you need anything, any hospitality, do let me know.
Besok yang akan ke hospital Amarul, bukan saya ya. Jadi Amarul, besok berapa orang yang mau gotong? Yang mau angkat kamu
Hospitality
ke hospital?
bukan hospital.
Berapa
Tapi kalau
orang
abang
yang
nak
mau-
pergi hospital,
yang mau gendong
saya
dari
boleh
atas
wastekan
ring?
untuk abang.
Mau berapa orang yang mau gendong kamu dari atas ring buat turun ke bawah? Biar disiapin sama Pak Presiden, nanti dia di samping ring.
Saya boleh turun sendiri.
A few moments later.
Semoga aja kamu bisa melayani saya dengan baik di atas ring. Jangan sampai baru mulai selesai nggak nyampe 3 ronde, nggak memuaskan saya di atas ring. Kamu nggak bisa melayani Jangan sampai aja kamu nggak bisa melayani saya di atas ring.
InsyaAllah saya dah ready untuk abang. Cuma abang sajalah mampu tak abang terima hospitality saya ni.
Jangan bahas-bahas lagi hospitality.
Bukan
Gara-gara
hospital,
hospitality saya
hospitality.
kira hospital. Udah, intinya udah terlanjur. Jadi besok dokter-dokter hospital kalian datang langsung, nggak usah nonton, siapin aja obat-obatan kalian segala macam, atau perlu tempat angkatan kalian, angkat orang itu kalian, tandunya itu kalian siapin buat angkat dia. Jangan lupa tandunya yang agak panjang soalnya tinggi dia.
Katanya dia siapin tandu. Jangan lupa tandunya yang lebih panjang karena Amarul tinggi buat besok. Gimana responnya?
Belum dibuat lagi. Tapi yang sedia ada sekarang saiz untuk Abang Haris.
Pagi tadi kan, aku baru tengok video Amarul dengan Haris Sofian yang pasal hospitality tu. Tapi, aku tak expect benda tu jadi dekat aku tau. Padahal, I rasa kalau dekat Malaysia kan, kalau kita jumpa kawan-kawan kita yang Chinese ke, yang Indian ke kan, kalau kita nampak perempuan cantik, kita cakap, weh, so cantik. Kan? Betul tak betul? Tapi, I tak faham, benda yang so cantik tu. Apa yang so cantik tu? Pandai baca ke tak pandai baca? That's the importance of English education tau. Eish.
One of the questions that I get the most by people back in the UK is, do people in Malaysia speak English? And of course, I tell them, yes, most people in Malaysia speak English. Many people here speak very, very good English. Probably better than a lot of English people, if we're completely honest. But that is not the thing that fascinates me about language when it comes to the people of Malaysia. What really fascinates me are the sheer number of people here that can speak multiple languages. For example, it's not uncommon at all to meet somebody in Malaysia that will speak fluent English, fluent Malay, a Chinese dialect. And then here in Kuching, for example, you'll meet people that can also speak Iban, Budaya, and all number of different languages. For example, my very good friend here, who in fact right now is standing about 20 feet away from me, he can speak perfectly fluent English, Malay, Iban, Budaya, Malanao, maybe some Chinese, I'm not sure. That's like at least 5 languages that he can speak easily, eloquently, and I've witnessed he can be having a conversation with one person and then just switch into the other language to talk to another person. It's absolutely amazing and inspiring to see. Now compare that to us back in the UK. We are generally atrocious at learning other languages. I don't think that's exclusive to the UK. I think countries where English is the first language, we're not the best at then learning other languages. We obviously have a sort of lazy advantage because English is so widely spoken, it's spoken all over the world, and when we travel, there is unfortunately a thing where we don't have to learn languages to go to other countries because people there will speak English. It's terrible, I know. We should do better. but also when you look at our education system, and really this says an awful lot about how good the education system in Malaysia is when it comes to teaching second, third, fourth languages. In the UK, I think our education in that area is really, really lacking. I mean, we don't really start learning another language until we're sort of some way into middle school, or this was the case when I was at school. It may be different now. I was at school a very, very, very long time ago. But when I was there, I don't think I started learning, it was French, until I was maybe about 7 or 8 years old. And by the time I finished my GCSEs, I got a B, which is a pretty good score, actually. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. And I could only really speak very, very, very basic French, and that was enough for me to get a B in my GCSEs at 16 years old. And the saddest thing for me as well is if you're not brought up bilingual or multilingual, then later on in life it's much, much harder for you to learn languages. Like me, for example, I've lived in Malaysia on and off over the past over a decade now, and I still speak Malay like a caveman that's possibly been hit on the head too many times. And then compare that to like a Malaysian that will say to me, oh sorry, my English isn't very good. And I'm like, man, your English is better than a load of people I know back in the UK who are meant to be native speakers. Yes, Malaysia is a wonderful example of a completely multilingual country and a very, very good example of how to educate your children properly to speak a multitude of languages.
Kalau diperhatikan, antara kekuatan utama rakyat Malaysia ialah mereka menjadikan bahasa Inggeris sebagai alat komunikasi harian. Di sekolah, tempat kerja, malah dalam perbualan biasa, bahasa ini digunakan dengan lebih santai dan semula jadi. Sebab itu ramai yang nampak lebih lancar. Bukan kerana mereka sentiasa sempurna dari segi tata bahasa, tetapi kerana mereka berani bercakap dan terbiasa menggunakan bahasa itu. Ramai orang sebenarnya terlalu takut untuk bercakap kerana risau buat silap. Padahal dalam dunia sebenar, yang paling penting ialah mesej kita sampai. Keyakinan, keberanian dan kebiasaan menggunakan bahasa jauh lebih penting daripada terlalu mengejar kesempurnaan. Inilah antara perkara yang patut dicontohi.
Go to Malaysia if you want to learn English. Do not go to England. Do not go to America. Why? Because here in Malaysia, together with learning English, you will gain a superpower, understanding every single accent in the world. Whether it's Malay, Chinese, Indian, African, Italian, French, South Korean, Japanese. As someone who has learned English here in Malaysia, and I've learned my English from the Chinese, the Malays, the Indians, and everyone else that lives here, the English that you learn here in Malaysia is going to be influenced by so many different people, cultures, that your English is going to be the united version of English, the English of the world. And you will easily understand everyone because you've heard every single accent while you've been here in Malaysia, and everyone in the world will understand you. With a few minor exceptions, English people still sometimes don't understand my English, but I invite them all to Malaysia because it's time to catch up with the rest of the world. Macam iOS 27, the new and updated version of English oleh Malaysia untuk semua.
Let's talk about English in Malaysia. If you're traveling to Malaysia, especially big cities like Kuala Lumpur, you will notice everybody speak English to a certain degree. You're also going to notice different accents and different dialects in English. They usually range from a very casual English, which is kind of a mix of Malay and Chinese and Tamil, basically called Manglish, or the formal English that is used in business or education or administration. See, English came to Malaysia in the 1800s when the British colonization happened. Then English became the language of government, education, business, and when Malaysia gained their independence in 1957, English didn't just disappear. Because Malaysians are smart. They kept Bahasa Malaysia as their national language, or Malay, and they kept English for global communication and economic growth. And that's why today English is pretty much everywhere in Malaysia, in universities and schools. It's actually a mandatory subject in public schools, I think. You'll see it on restaurant menus, on road signs, and many other things. And what I like the most about the type of English used in casual settings here by Malaysian people is that it's very efficient, you know? They don't waste time. For example, are you able to help me with this? Is simply can or not. I have already managed to complete the task is going to be done already. And you're also going to hear little elements like la. I'm not going to try to explain how to use them because I really don't know, and it's almost like an untranslatable thing. Like you have to be from here to know where to put it. But you'll hear those elements and they are just added sometimes to emphasize something, sometimes to soften things up, sometimes to, I don't know, make something a little bit more aggressive. It's many uses. Malaysians can very easily switch between formal English to casual English, and when they're in a business setting, for example, they will use proper English, and when they're with their friends or with their family, they will switch to a much more casual tone and vocabulary. And this is pretty similar to my country. I'm from Moldova, so when we speak Romanian in Moldova, it has a very thick, strong dialect, but then we can switch to proper Romanian very easily, so then we use it in more formal situations. So overall, I'm very grateful that even in Indonesia and Singapore and Malaysia, I have been able to be understood and communicate easily with local people because everybody seems to know English to a certain degree, and most of the times it's very good English. And many Malaysians actually speak 3 to 4 languages, so if you're traveling, if you're a tourist and you're having some issues because that person doesn't speak perfect English or you can't understand them, you gotta chill because that's their 3rd or 4th language already. Relax lah.
When I speak English in Malaysia, this is how I sound, like normal Malaysian accent. And then suddenly if there's an Ang Mo there, my American accent starts to push through and I don't understand why I sound like I'm from California or something. Bila cakap BM, suara tu nge macam tu, tiba-tiba je. Apa benda ni? Kecoh ah. 当我讲华语的时候，我的声音比较高一点，比较可爱一点。我講廣東話嘅時期，無端端好似周星馳咁嘅，點解呢？
Gue suka banget sama orang Malaysia kalau mereka ngomong pakai bahasa Inggris, mereka pakai bahasa Melayu. They don't use an American accent or British accent, but in Malay accent, I will give you an example like. Tadi I nak tell you about something, but I forget dah nak cakap apa. Nak cakap apa. Lepas hari tu kita calling kan, apa dah jadi dah. Kayak mereka ngomong pakai bahasa Melayu, mix pakai bahasa Inggris, tapi nadanya pakai bahasa Melayu gitu kayak. That's a good, I think.
Hello.
Hello.
What is your name?
My name is Miguel Raisen.
Where are you from?
I'm from Sabah, Malaysia.
Okay. How many languages do you speak?
About 3.
Which one?
Malaysia, English, and my traditional language.
What is your traditional language?
My traditional language is Kadazan Dusun.
Karazan Dusun.
Yes.
Can you say anything in your language?
Yes.
Say something.
Ngaranku Miguel, mandatku from Sabah.
Mandatku from Kazakhstan.
Yes.
I can speak now your language.
Yes.
How to say my name is?
Ngaranku.
Ngaranku Balnur.
Yes.
Oh, good. How to say thank you so much?
Ponsiko.
Ponsiko.
Yeah.
Siapa nama abak?
Siapa nama awak?
Siapa nama awak?
Yeah. What's your name?
Right. And how to say nice to meet you?
Selamat bertemu dengan kamu.
Bertemu
Dengan Anda.
dengan Anda.
Yeah.
Selamat bertemu dengan Anda. Okay. And how to say you are a good policeman?
Kamu adalah polis yang bagus.
Kamu adalah
Polis yang bagus.
polis yang bagus.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for your time.
Kemahiran bahasa Inggeris hari ini bukan sekadar nampak hebat. Ia boleh membuka lebih banyak peluang, sama ada dalam pelajaran, pekerjaan, perniagaan atau hubungan dengan dunia luar. Dalam zaman digital sekarang, siapa yang boleh berkomunikasi dengan lebih luas, dia ada lebih banyak ruang untuk maju. Jadi guys, pengajarannya mudah. Kalau nak mahir, jangan tunggu sampai rasa sempurna baru nak mula. Biasakan diri mendengar, membaca dan bercakap walaupun sedikit demi sedikit. Lagi kerap kita guna, lagi cepat keyakinan itu datang. Sebelum kita tamatkan video ini, CM Fakta nak tinggalkan satu nasihat. Jangan malu kalau hari ini kita masih belum fasih. Semua orang bermula dari bawah. Yang penting, terus belajar, terus cuba dan jangan takut buat silap. Kadang-kadang, satu langkah kecil hari ini boleh buka peluang besar pada masa depan. Kalau korang setuju, tulis pendapat korang di ruangan komen. Jumpa lagi di video CM Fakta yang seterusnya guys.